From Governor's Comedy Club in Levittown, this is Sportsbash, presented by TicketBash.com. TicketBash.com, where memories are made affordable and where you'll never pay a service fee. Sportsbash is also presented by the Ryan Anthony Head Start Fund, a group of like-minded individuals trying to raise awareness to our future generations of all possibilities of success other than just college. For more information, visit www.lookwhomadeit.org. Hi again, everyone. I'm Peter Schwartz. Welcome to this Thursday edition of Sports Bash. You can join the show. You can chat with us on the Governor's Comedy Club podcast YouTube page as a chat session. If you don't want to call, you can do that. Or you can give us a call at 516-465-3990. We've got an action-packed show for you. Coming up in about 20 minutes or so, I'm going to have a recap of a great event that took place at Citi Field yesterday. It's called What's New at Citi. And the Mets do this every year where they unveil the newest food items and they unveil the promotional items that they're going to give away at games this season. And I will say, in my opinion, the food at Citi Field and the food at UBS Arena are the two best arena ballpark foods that you can find in the area. And the Mets always do a great job, and they did a great job yesterday. And it's like, and again, as a Yankee fan, I feel I can talk openly about this because I follow the Mets all my life as well. And when you think of Mookie Wilson, you think, this guy could run, he could hit, he could catch the ball. I never knew he cooked. I learned something new every day. So one of the three interviews I did there yesterday was with Mookie Wilson. And as I'm doing the interview, I'm thinking, how jealous must Tony Walker, my producer, feel about this? Of course, what did I do? Being a little, I sent them a picture of Mookie Wilson. Tony, by the way, also the host of the Knock 'em Dead comedy show from 11 to 12:30 Monday through Friday. But Mookie is Tony's favorite Met of all time. And we are efforting to get him on the show. We would love to get a regular full segment interview, but I got a few minutes with Mookie yesterday. I also caught up with Mets owner Alex Cohen, the wife of Steve Cohen. She was absolutely kind and generous with her time yesterday. And also the senior executive chef, Jason Exterowitz, is going to join me yesterday. We'll play back that interview for you on the program in a little bit. I'm also going to share a story about an encounter I had yesterday with Mr. Met and his big head. And I've always gotten along with Mr. Met. In fact, I was at an event once and I got in the elevator and in came Mr. Met in the elevator. This is not the story I'm going to tell, but I took a picture with Mr. Met in the elevator and I said, after we took the picture, or as somebody was taking the picture of me and Mr. Met, Mr. Met, is this a good time to tell you that I'm a Yankees fan? And he put his hands up in the air like this. But that's not the Mr. Met story from yesterday that I'm going to tell. I'm going to save that for after the interviews a little bit. Also later in the show, Matthew Jolis, the president and CEO of Gotham Sports and Entertainment, his group is bringing indoor soccer to New Jersey later this year in December. Independence FC will launch in Newark. And when I saw that news, I got excited because, and this is just me, I always liked the niche sports, right? But I was a huge New York Arrows fan growing up. And remember, the Arrows and the Islanders dynasties almost went parallel. The Arrows won their 4 MISL championships from 78-79 to 81-82, almost parallel to the Islanders dynasty from 80 to 83. And those were both going on in the same building at the same exact time. So I loved indoor soccer, and I'm so excited it's coming back to the area. We'll talk to Matthew about that. We'll also have What's Hot at TicketBash.com, the Sports Bash Media poll question of the day, and we'll check out the Coach's Collectibles item of the week. It's time for the Sports Bash Flash. It's presented by the Marty Lyons Foundation. The 6th annual Marty Lyons Foundation NFL Draft Party will be on Thursday, April 23rd at Great South Bay Brewery in Bayshore. For more information, visit martylionsfoundation.org. Once again, 6th straight year, I'm so blessed to have been asked to host the event. It's a great night with, the Jets have the 2nd and the 16th pick. The Giants are picking 5th. It's a great night of food and fun and drinks and raffle prizes, and get a chance to see Marty and Kenny Schroy, Bobby Jackson, a whole bunch of other former Jets and NFL players. It's really a great time. There's going to be about 250, 275 people, I think, last year. I think they're going to try to exceed that this year, well, within building limits. But it's a great night. If you're a football fan and you want to come out and support a great cause, please come to the Marty Lyons Foundation NFL Draft Party. Exhibition baseball yesterday. This was huge news. I couldn't believe, kind of took me by surprise. I didn't think this was going to happen. Not that the Yankees beat the Red Sox 1-0, but Garrett Cole pitched a scoreless inning, gave up 2 hits. He threw 10 pitches in his first outing since undergoing Tommy John surgery a little over a year ago. Now, from what I understand, it's not going to affect his timeline for coming back to the Yankees, but that was a great sign to see number 45 on the mound yesterday. Today, the Yankees have a pair of split squad games, hosting the Orioles and visiting the Blue Jays. The Mets visit the Astros. The Devils beat the Rangers 6-3 at the Garden. Tonight, the Rangers are in Columbus, while the Islanders are in Ottawa. Very strange night for me tonight with the Rangers in Columbus, because the Islanders are battling Columbus for one of those final Eastern Conference playoff spots. This is the very rare day that you will hear Peter Schwartz say, "Let's go Rangers." Oh, Tony was kind of rolled his eyes at me a little bit.
I never thought I'd hear that.
You never thought you'd hear it. You're going to hear it tonight. While watching the Islander game and keeping an eye on the Rangers Columbus, you're going to hear Peter Schwartz keep saying, "Let's go Rangers." So let's go Rangers tonight. And obviously, let's go Islanders tonight in Ottawa. And yesterday was a big day for the Islanders. They signed 2024 first-round pick Cole Eiserman to a 3-year entry-level contract. He is expected, and it is announced, he is going to, he has reported to Bridgeport, and my understanding is that he is going to play this weekend. And I bring this up because I'm actually going to the game with my family on Saturday. It's the Bridgeport Islanders against the Hershey Bears, and this year on Saturday nights, Bridgeport has gone back to their old jerseys, their old logo, the Sound Tigers, and they're doing something pretty cool as part of their 25th anniversary on Saturday. The first 2,500 fans that come through the turnstiles or get their tickets scanned, I don't think there's turnstiles anymore, to get their tickets scanned, are going to get this great bobblehead that you see on your screen right now, and it matches the past with the present. The past, Matt Martin, a longtime Islander great, got his professional start as a Bridgeport Sound Tiger, and Chris Terry, currently on the Bridgeport Islanders, the franchise's all-time leading scorer. I wrote a story about this for WFAN.com that you can catch online, but excited. And now it appears as if Cole Eiserman is going to make his professional hockey debut on Saturday. Now, I know the Islanders are playing Saturday night, but this is a great chance for Islander fans to make the short drive to Bridgeport and get a chance to see a future Islander star make his pro debut. And even so, like, the game is at 3 o'clock on Saturday, and I think the Islanders play Montreal at 7 o'clock at night. You could literally go to the game in Bridgeport and listen to a little bit of the first period of the Islander game on your way home, because that game will be over at 6 o'clock, an hour or so, depending on where you live on Long Island. So I think it's a great chance to fill that building in Bridgeport on Saturday and see Cole Eiserman make his pro debut. It's funny when you do the show twice a week. You plan it out, you plan, and God laughs at you, right? My wife says that all the time. And I was going to lead with the WBC, with the World Baseball Classic, in the United States losing to Venezuela. And certainly the goal here, obviously, one of these days is we're going to do Sports Bash 5 days a week. We're hoping to do that at some point in the near future. Had that been the case this week, I would have talked about the WBC yesterday. But it's 2 days later, and this morning, just bittersweet sports news. And I say it with a smile because, you know, it's not a life or death situation. But in sports, it's always tough to say goodbye, whether it's a player or a front office person. And it's just inevitable that you say goodbye to a player, because it's not like you're working for IBM or a big company where you work till you're in your 60s. You know, in sports, you know, you play into your 30s. Occasionally you see guys play into their 40s. And it's kind of the same for broadcasters. Obviously can do it a lot longer, but there is a time when broadcasters have to call it a career. And we already knew coming into this season that Howie Rose, longtime Mets broadcaster and the former TV broadcaster for the Islanders, we knew that this year he was only going to do home games and the 3 games against the Yankees at Yankee Stadium. This morning came the news that this was going to be Howie Rose's final season in the Mets broadcast booth, and the Mets released this video from Howie this morning on social media.
Hi, Howie Rose here. Excited as always about the beginning of another Mets season. In fact, I've been blessed to be a part of Mets broadcasts in one capacity or another since 1987. And every season's been unique and significant in its own way. This year, though, will be especially meaningful to me because 2026 will be my final season in the Mets broadcast booth. Now, trust me, I did not arrive at this decision to retire easily. I've been going back and forth in my mind about it for the last few years. But the simple reality is that I'm 72 years old, and my wife, Barbara, who has sacrificed so much for so long, deserves to have her husband around a little more often, whether she likes it or not. I'm not planning on making a clean break. Hopefully I'll be involved now and then in some still to be determined capacity, because for me, letting go of the Mets isn't hard. It's impossible. And one of the biggest reasons for that is the bond that we've created with each other through all these years. The warmth, acceptance, and yes, love that you've shown me in so many ways for so long makes this all the more difficult. And I return those feelings in kind. This year, I'll be in the booth for all of the home games, plus the 3 at Yankee Stadium, and of course, every game home and away during the postseason. You know, I'm always honored to start the season by emceeing opening day at Citi Field, but this year in particular, I would like nothing better than to bookend that by serving as Master of Ceremonies on the steps of City Hall after a trip down the Canyon of Heroes immediately following the season. That would make this dream that I've lived complete. So thanks for everything, and I'll see you on opening day. Hi.
You know, they say in the Jewish religion they have a description of someone, they call him a mensch, a good person, endearing person. That fits Howie Rose to a T. And I'm proud to say that he is a dear friend of mine. But there was a time also where he was someone who I aspired to be. And not that my career has gotten anywhere near the legendary career of Howie Rose, but I've talked on the show, you know, the late Al Troutwig, how much he meant to me in my career because of his versatility. Well, Howie Rose was basically the same. You know, he started as many years. He did Arrows games on the radio. That's when I first heard him. And then he went on to be a sports talk show host at WFAN. And I was an intern at the Fan, got to meet Howie Rose, and just so helpful and kind with his time, his generosity, and advice for a young broadcaster. And I always kept that with me. And after I graduated college and I started working in radio, I knew right away that one of my first loves in working in sports was to do football play-by-play. That, I think, is the thing that brings me the most joy. I love this show. I love everything that I've done in this business. But there is something for me about doing play-by-play for football that is very, very special to me. I was doing some high school games on, small radio stations and things like that. And I tried to get bigger jobs. It never materialized. I thought, what am I doing wrong? Am I doing something wrong? So this is like the mid to late 90s, and Howie Rose became the TV voice of the Islanders. And I would see him every Islander home game, and he was always nice. Peter, how you doing? What's going on? So one night, I saw him getting set up for the broadcast, and I said, can I ask you a favor? And he said, sure. I said, this is a football game. I did a high school game, and I haven't gotten any bites from other places. I was just wondering if you might be able to listen to it. What am I doing wrong? Is there something that I can improve? And he said, absolutely, I'll take a listen. A couple of weeks go by. He never brought it up again. I'm like, the guy's busy. He's traveling, whatever. I go to an Islander game one night. I walk in the old, Coliseum press box. I walk up the stairs to go to the bathroom. I walk in the bathroom, and who's washing his hands? Howie Rose. And he goes, Peter, I'm glad I saw you. I have your tape here. I'm going to give it back to you. I listened to the whole thing, and he gave me some pointers. He said, you might want to be a little bit more descriptive. You might want to improve the inflection in your voice when you get too high, when you get too low. And it was funny because I listened back to the tape and he was 100% right. And I knew he listened to the tape because he made constructive criticism that eventually helped me land a job with the XFL in 2001. And without the XFL, there's no New York Dragons for 8 years. So I can't get to that point without the advice and the generosity of Howie Rose to just listen to a tape that I gave him. And that's the kind of person he is. And even as a Yankee fan, I'm going to miss him in the Mets broadcast booth because he is one of the greatest of all time to do it. I could talk about the years he did the Islanders, but we said goodbye to his Islanders broadcasting 10 years ago, and this is a Mets day. It's not an Islanders day, although, he calls so many iconic Islander goals. I was talking with Tony before the show about the Sean Bates penalty shot. And I was at the game and felt the building shake, and I thought he did a great call. But it's not an Islander day. Howie Rose said goodbye to the Islanders 10 years ago. But this is a sad day for Mets fans. If you grew up and Howie Rose was the soundtrack of your life, if you're an Islanders and Mets fan. And he is just a wonderful person. I wish him nothing but the best. I hope, if the Mets have a really good season, maybe he reconsiders. Maybe he goes to Philadelphia. We'll see. And here's the other thing, too, is how do you replace him? I was talking to my wife about it this morning. Who's going to replace him? Well, you have Keith Radd and Pat McCarthy in the booth. You're going to have to hire a third person. And the Mets can go in two different directions here. They could hire another veteran broadcaster to be that veteran person in the booth to share the 1 and 2 with Keith Radd. Or do they hire another young broadcaster and they just make Keith and Pat the team going forward? It's an interesting decision for the Mets and Odyssey, how they're going to do that going forward. But I'm going to miss Howie. He is a Hall of Fame broadcaster, a Hall of Fame person, and certainly someday he should be in the Baseball Hall of Fame as the winner of the Ford Frick Award. And also when it comes to his generosity, a couple of years ago he did something very, very nice for me and my family. My son Jared was getting bar mitzvahed, and I was putting this video. We did it for Bradley also. A video of famous people, sports celebrities, and things like that, wishing Jared congratulations on his bar mitzvah. And Howie Rose did one of the videos, and it was so nice of him to do that. So I brought Howie with me. Well, not really. I brought the Howie Rose bobblehead that they gave out at Citi Field a few years ago. So this is what happens. It's a talking bobblehead. So we have a lot of bobbleheads in the house, and I'm glad to say that this is one of them. I also have the John Sterling, Susan Waldman talking bobblehead. They're not next to each other. You can't put the Mets and the Yankees next to each other in our house because otherwise, worlds collide. So this is on display in our living room. So I'm actually going to keep Howie in front of me for the rest of the show as a tribute to Howie Rose. We'll keep Howie right there. And we thank him. And again, I hope to see him a bunch of times this year at Citi Field. And I'm trying to figure out a nice way to say this. I hope the Mets have a very, very successful season. I don't hate the Mets, as you know. I've got a wife and 2 kids who are big Mets fans. But you heard him say in that video that he wants to MC the Mets World Series celebration on the steps of City Hall. And I'm all for it, with the exception of one team that they would play in the World Series. So if it's any team in the World Series but the Yankees, I hope that happens. I truly do. But I could not wish him worse ending to his Mets career than if there was a Subway Series. I would have to obviously root for the Yankees to disappoint him. But again, I just wanted to come out as a Yankee fan. I hope Howie gets his wish, with the exception of if they play the Yankees in the World Series. So there you go. It's time for the Sports Bash Media poll question of the day. It's presented by the Embassy Diner, located at 4280 Hempstead Turnpike in Bethpage. Every customer is considered family at the Embassy Diner. Mention Sports Bash, get a free dessert with your meal. We post a new question every Tuesday and Thursday on the Sports Bash Media X/Twitter page. We're going to get to the WBC because originally I was going to lead with it, and that was the question. Who would you want to manage Team USA in the next World Baseball Classic? It certainly can't be Mark DeRosa again. And I think what they're talking about doing is they're talking about moving the World Baseball Classic to replace the All-Star break. And if that's the case, then you have your choice of managers who are in season. They just did it with hockey at the Olympics, where NHL coaches were coaching in the Olympics. So that's what I think is going to happen. And here are the choices that I gave you. Mike Sullivan coached Team USA to the gold medal. John Cooper of the Lightning was the coach of Team Canada. So here are your four choices. Dave Roberts of the Dodgers, who's won back-to-back World Series. Bruce Bochy, if he makes it that long, as a manager. A.J. Hinch, or other. Comment below, and I'll let Tony have the floor for a quick second.
I'm a Bochy guy.
Bochy. That's who I hope he's still managing at that point.
Yeah.
So I would go with that Bruce Bochy would be certainly my choice. Before we go to break, our friend Amy McGorry, who was on the show with us on Tuesday, is in need of a life-saving living liver donor. Amy joined us, as I said, on the show Tuesday. Scan the QR code that you see on the screen to get more information on how you could be a donor. You have to be O positive and be between the ages of 20 and 60. But if you scan that QR code that you see on your screen right now, you can get some more information. We're going to keep the Mets theme rolling when we come back here on the show. A recap of yesterday's What's New at Citi Field event. And I'm going to give the last word of the segment to Howie Rose. Hi, I'm Peter Schwartz.
And I'm Vinny Tickets.
We want to take a moment to talk about our fantastic sponsor, the Embassy Diner.
Embassy Diner has been a beloved staple in the restaurant industry for over 50 years. And the great thing about it is when you walk through the door, you're not a customer, you are family. Every visit promises to be filled with warmth, love, and respect.
And here's an extra treat. If you mention Sportsbash during your visit, you enjoy a free dessert on the Embassy Diner.
Come on down to the Embassy Diner, where great food and great company are always on the menu.
Visit the Embassy Diner, located at 4280 Hempstead Turnpike in Bethpage.
In 1982, the Marty Lyons Foundation began with a single heartfelt mission: to bring moments of joy and hope to critically ill children by granting wishes that make their dreams come true. Since that day, we have touched the lives of over 8,600 families, raising over $44 million to grant wishes that offer a beacon of light in their darkest times. These precious wishes cost an average of $7,100 each. And your support is crucial to our mission. Every donation, big or small, makes a difference. And with 84 cents of every dollar going directly to supporting our families, you can rest assured your support truly changes lives. The Marty Lyons Foundation operates 11 chapters in 14 states now, working tirelessly to reach as many children as we can. This dedication goes hand in hand with our commitment to transparency and accountability, earning us top ratings on Charity Navigator, Great Nonprofits, and Candid, which underscores our dedication to those we serve. The Marty Lyons Foundation grants wishes to children ages 3 to 17. And what really makes this foundation so special is our willingness to grant not only a first wish, but also consider a second wish to a child who continues to battle a life-threatening illness. We stand by these children, offering them hope and strength through the power of dreams, giving our children the courage to wish for more.
What's your purpose in life? Is your purpose in life to live in the big house and drive the nice car? No. Your purpose in this life is to make it a little bit better for those that follow and realize that we live for today to see a better tomorrow.
Visit MartyLyonsFoundation.org to learn more and get involved.
Welcome back to Sports Bash, presented by the Ryan Anthony Head Start Fund. I'm Peter Schwartz, 516-465-3990, the number to call. And Tony and I were just talking during the break, and I'm like, I feel like an idiot because I gave one of the choices as Bruce Bochy, and I completely forgot he's not back this year with the Texas Rangers. Totally forgot about it. He could still manage. I mean, I would take him over a lot of managers in 2029 if he wants to do it. But I guess you have to talk, if you want to take him off that list and add somebody else, you have Alex Cora with the Red Sox. There's a number of other managers you can look at. But I can't believe I'm such an idiot that I forgot that he wasn't managing the Rangers anymore. Certainly want to stay away from Aaron Boone and Carlos Mendoza. I don't think that'll work out too well. Not that they're not good managers, just I just don't think that's who you want running Team USA. We need to win in 2029. That was an absolute disaster the other night. But again, it's 2 days later and other things to talk about today. I had the pleasure of being at a great event, an annual event yesterday, What's New at Citi Field. It's where the Mets unveil all of their new food items and their promo items for the year, and a chance to see what games. My wife and I are going to have to get the checkbook out to make the kids happy and go to the games, but there's a bunch of them. They have some great promotional items that they're giving away. There's an 86 World Championship ring that they're giving away, and a bunch of bobblehead dolls, and there's a Gary Carter one, and he was my wife's favorite player, so I think we have to figure out, I think you have to buy a special ticket for those games, the 86 bobblehead games, you have to get a special ticket, or I may just get a credential for that game because they hand out that stuff in the press box, so that may be a night that I just go and try and scarf one in the press box that night. But they unveiled some great new food items. And again, I kind of teased this at the beginning, like you knew Mookie Wilson could hit, run, and catch. And a huge part of the 86 world champion New York Mets team. I never knew he could cook. And I saw the press release about yesterday. It said that Mookie Wilson was going to be there. I'm like, Mookie Wilson? And he was there, and he had a great pulled chicken sandwich. It was just ridiculous. And I was so happy to be able to spend a few minutes with Mookie, and here's that interview I did with him yesterday. Well, Mookie, a lot of Met fans knew you could run, you could catch, and you could hit. But I don't think a lot of Met fans knew you could cook.
No, not many. It's a passion of mine. And I think what people don't really remember, I used to bring food in the clubhouse, all the time. So it's been a passion. I grew up around cooks. My family's just been lovers of food. And we love cooking, and we love to see people enjoy food. And to be part of this is be invited to be part of this with the Mets and Airmark here at the ballpark. Mm-hmm. I can continue the baseball legacy, man. Not play it now, but provide another part that people love, which is eating food, good food at the ballpark.
So while you were growing up and when you were playing baseball for the Mets, what was your favorite thing always to cook?
Oh, God. Yams and mac and cheese has been the two of my favorites.
Who doesn't like mac and cheese, right?
And everybody. Every American loves mac and cheese. Well, now you don't have to be American, be anybody. But you can't be an American not like mac and cheese.
It must be so cool for you to be here at Citi Field and getting ready for the Mets season. And how excited are you for that and to see what the guys are going to be on the field?
Well, I can't explain how excited I am about just being part of this side of the game. And this is new territory for me. I don't know what they expect. I know what I would like to see. So it's a part of the game that I didn't plan for. It's not a dream come true because I didn't dream of this. I cooked for the love of it. Mm-hmm. Now I'm cooking for everyone else to love it as well. Yeah. And the expectation this year is high for the team. And my expectation is that people enjoy what I do, enjoy what we do, and to be a part of just a growing industry that's presenting great food at ballpark. And Airmark and the Mets have done really well over the past 4 years. I think they've been voted really high over the years, and I'm just happy to be part of it.
Tell me what you got there, and can I have some of it?
What I have right here is a smoked chicken slider, pulled slider. Don't prepare pulled pork. This is pulled chicken topped with a pickle. And if you want to dress up a little bit more, you can. But this is what we got just for today.
I'm going to try it on the air.
Go right ahead, try it on there.
You hold the microphone.
You go right there.
And I'm going to take the sandwich.
Bite into it, and the sauce is very special. Can't tell you what's in the sauce.
Absolutely incredible. One last thing.
Yeah.
It's the anniversary of the 86 World Series. I know there's Met fans every day that come up to you. Where were they?
Yeah.
Watching. What does that mean to you to be a part of that iconic team and how it still resonates so many years later?
It's one of the most amazing things that I've ever been involved in. I mean, people talk about the past and things that happened, good things that happened, but that's different. Winning the World Series in '86 in the fashion that we won it, it was different. And for people to this day, 40 years later, people still talk about it, and they remember it if it was yesterday. I remember it as if it was yesterday. That's rare, and because I can't remember what I ate yesterday, but I know. But I'm humbled. I'm flattered that people remember that team. I'm even more humbled and flattered that they remember me as a person and as a part of that team, because I remember teams that won championships. Now, I remember who was on the team. I remember the team, but I don't remember the players. But to be part of that and be that part of people's memory, it's a great feeling.
Thank you so much, and best of luck. And I'm going to finish this right now.
Thank you very much.
Well, Mookie, a lot of Met fans. That was awesome. He was great. He was absolutely phenomenal. The chicken sandwich was great. I highly recommend it. Some of the other things I really enjoyed there yesterday, they had a clam chowder egg roll by the company, I think it was Walk and Roll, has a stand at Citi Field. There was also Philly cheesesteak pizza. I think it was Napoli's Pizza that made that. That was pretty good. Adam Richman, the famous chef, was there, and he has a burger at Citi Field. Just incredible, one thing after another. And I just want to let everybody know, because I was concerned about this yesterday. I'm in this, doing very, very well with my weight loss, down like 37 pounds. So I think, as opposed to other years there, I think I was very much in control yesterday. And there was a certain time where I said, you know what? I've been here long enough. I've got some stuff to bring home to the family. I'm fine. Let's go to the car. That's it. So I thought I was very, very in control. And the Yankee event's going to be probably coming up in a couple of weeks too. So I got to be ready for that one. This was very nice as well. I see Alex Cohen, Mets owner, the wife of Mets owner Steve Cohen, stopped to say hello, introduced myself, and she said she does not do podcast interviews, and she does not do a lot of this. And I said, I'm not going to talk baseball with you. It's just about, the fans and the food and everything. She goes, okay, I'll do it. And here is the interview with Alex Cohen. Alex, this is an event that everybody that's always here circles on the calendar at the beginning of the year. What does it mean for you to be able to put an event on like this and show the fans what's coming up this year?
Well, we look forward to this as much as the fans do, because all of this is new to us as well. And we want to give the best quality food and the best experience when people come to the stadium, and we have proven that year after year. And we don't sit on our laurels. We say, what can we do better next year? And here we are. We're doing better.
That is really the goal for ownership and management, is to make sure that when a fan comes through the gates here at Citi Field, that they are having a good time from the moment they get here to the moment they leave. You can't guarantee a win, but you can guarantee a good time at the ballpark, right?
We can't guarantee a win, but we can guarantee a good time. And they're treated well and with respect, and the food is going to be amazing this year.
The food has always been great, and there's so many new options again this year. That's pretty exciting that every year you can offer something different to the fans who come here.
Well, Steve and I are both foodies, so if the food was not good, we'd have a problem. But we really are proud of everyone here. We also showcase a lot of the local vendors. One of the groups here used to do a truck outside in the block party, and we brought them in because everyone loved them so much. So we really pay attention to our local vendors here.
I think the coolest thing here, and I didn't notice all these years watching baseball, that Mookie Wilson could cook.
Yes.
I think the fact that he's here is unbelievable.
I've actually gone to the parking lot when him and his family are doing the barbecue many times. It is one-of-a-kind barbecue. It is the best. You must try it.
Well, thank you so much. Good luck this season, and it's going to be great bringing the family here and experiencing all of this.
Great. Well, thanks so much.
Alex, she was delightful, absolutely delightful to talk to, and I felt really good that she said a couple of times before and after, I don't do podcast interviews. So I feel very nice that she did it for us. And best of luck again to Alex and Steve and the rest of the Mets. It was just a wonderful event. And if there's one person in the organization that had his eyes on everything going on yesterday, making sure that the media and the invited guests were having a good time and enjoying the food, is the senior executive chef of Citi Field, Jason Exterowitz. And here's my interview with the Mets senior executive chef. Well, Jason, this is an event that everybody's got circled on their calendar.
Yeah.
How cool is this for you to put on this event every year?
Yeah, so it's great. It's always a kickoff to our season, and it's also the culmination of our food program. So a lot of thought and effort goes into it, 4 or 5 months worth of planning, and then we always think that everything tastes good. We never know how the fans or how the public is going to take onto it. So this is kind of our way of introducing it to, you guys first and get everyone's feedback and walking the room and seeing the energy that everyone's giving and the excitement and eating the different things. It looks like we've got a lot of pretty good hits this year.
No question about it. Growing up, and I'm a little older than maybe a lot of people in the room, but it was always, you go to a baseball game with your dad and your mom, it's a hot dog, it's a pretzel, it's a beer or a soda, whatever it is. How cool is it to see how ballpark food has evolved to where you've got, prime rib and steak and chicken wings and all this kind of stuff?
Yeah, I think, one of the big things that we always say here is we're not just chicken tender vendors. It's not just a chicken
But
tender.
everybody still likes a chicken tender. Let's not kid ourselves.
The chicken tenders and the hot dogs keep the lights on. But, we've got a lot of different offerings out there. I just had a whole conversation with someone over the Big Apple blend, the seasoning that we're doing this year, where we've made our own proprietary seasoning. A lot of people come to the stadium and say, that's the best burger I've ever had. What did you do to it? And we've always had a story and told them what it was, but now, to go along with that story, we can actually give them that and say, here, try it at home. Put it on your shrimp, put it on your eggs, put it on whatever you want, become the chef. But this is what we do here at the ballpark.
I'll always remember Mookie Wilson because he could run, he could catch, he could hit, big star of the 86 Mets. Never in a million years that I think he was a cook. How cool is it for you to have him as part of the team?
Yeah, Mookie's an awesome guy. When we first started doing this and, we have the whole anniversary of the 86 team this year, and we looked at it, and Mookie was also a huge fan of the food program and what we do here. And the coolest thing about that whole concept is his sense of family. Like, he doesn't do anything without his brothers. So it's like it's legacy catering presented by Mookie Wilson and family. And I think that's more important than anything. Our food program here, what we do, we're a big family. We've got to do, we're feeding 60,000 screaming fans a day. You're not going to have a day where you're not tired. You're at the end of the day, you're going to get down and stuff like that. But it's, looking around and each person hyping each other up. So that sense of family is real important to us. And he's just a cool guy.
Thank you so much, Jason. Best of luck this season. Everything tastes great, by the way.
Awesome. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed.
Thank you. Well, Jason, this is... Well, thanks to Jason, the executive chef at Citi Field, for joining me yesterday. Now, if you noticed the difference in my shirt from the first 2 interviews to the third one with Jason, is that there is a stain on part of my shirt during the interview with Jason. And I'm going to tell you how I got that stain, and it has to do with Mr. Met. I was taking a plate of food back to the table that I was sitting at, and Mr. Met is standing there, not conversing because he doesn't talk, but like frolicking with a couple other people at the table where I'm sitting. So I go to get around Mr. Met, and as I'm putting my plate of food on the table, Mr. Met takes a step back and with his big, giant head, whacks the food in my plate all over me. And I like Mr. Met. I don't want to have an adversarial relationship with Mr. Met, but I mean, could you watch where you're going, man? Come on. You got that big freaking head? Do you know that people are behind you? Come on. I love Mr. Met. I can't be angry at him too long, even though I'm a Yankee fan. But I just like, did I have to wear the food? Come on. When we come back here on the show, No more Mets talk. We spent a lot of time on the Mets today. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but we have to move on to other things. When we come back on the show, I'm going to be joined by Matthew Jolis, who is bringing indoor soccer to New Jersey this December. Lots more to come. Come right back on Sports Bash. Hi, I'm Peter Schwartz.
And I'm Vinny Tickets.
We want to take a moment to talk about our fantastic sponsor, the Embassy Diner.
Embassy Diner has been a beloved staple in the restaurant industry for over 50 years. And the great thing about it is when you walk through the door, you're not a customer, you are family. Every visit promises to be filled with warmth, love, and respect.
And here's an extra treat. If you mention Sports Bash during your visit, you enjoy a free dessert on the Embassy Diner.
Come on down to the Embassy Diner, where great food and great company are always on the menu.
Visit the Embassy Diner, located at 4280 Hempstead Turnpike in Bethpage. Welcome back to Sports Bash, presented by TicketBash.com. I'm Peter Schwartz, 516-465-3990, the number to call. We'll get back to your phone calls and more to come here on the show in just a little bit. But as I mentioned early in the show, part of my childhood, a big part of it, was spent at Nassau Coliseum, not just watching the Islanders and a few Nets games here and there, but also a huge fan of the New York Arrows indoor soccer team. You had Shep Messing and Steve Jungle and Branko Segota, Renato Chila, all those guys winning 4 straight MISL championships. And unfortunately, there was a point where the Arrows went away, and indoor soccer has not been back in this area in the longest time. But that is going to change this coming December, because Independence FC is going to come to the St. Barnabas Hockey House next door to the Rock in Newark, New Jersey. And it's being brought back by our next guest here on the show. He is Matthew Jolis, the president and CEO of Gotham Sports and Entertainment. Matthew, it's Peter. How are you?
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on the show. So tell us about the origin of this. What led you to bringing professional indoor soccer to New Jersey?
Well, as you mentioned, you growing up, I grew up on the indoor game as well myself too. Spent most of my childhood in Philadelphia with the Philadelphia Kicks. Actually had a couple of tryouts with the Kicks myself. I'm a soccer player myself by trade. And, it's been 16 years since we've had professional indoor soccer in New Jersey, since the ending days of the New Jersey Ironmen back in 2010. So it was finally time. And as I've gone through my career, as I've built things, that I've built this company, one of the things that I always said to myself was I wanted to figure out a way to get arena soccer back into the New York, New Jersey marketplace. It is just such a fun, fast-paced game. It's a great family environment. And now just seemed to be the right time. The stars just aligned.
It's a great sport, and I know that with different leagues that have sprouted up since the original major indoor soccer league, some different rules, and they've done some different things. But basically, the sport is the same as it was back, in the '80s. Talk about the game itself, and there's been arena football, indoor football. It's been a high-paced action of the game of American football. Talk to us about the game of indoor soccer, how exciting, high octane it is, and how the fans are going to enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about, indoor lacrosse, indoor football, and, people say, oh, well, that's the fastest game on turf. And this really is, too. I mean, you're not going to have games that are going to be 1-0, 2-1 like you get in regular soccer in the MLS or in the Premier League or whatever. You're going to see games that are 7-6. You're going to see games that are 13-10. Like it's going to be fast paced, and it is, an amazing, just 4 15-minute quarters that just kind of zoom right through. These games are very quick. In MASL this year, we've been seeing games that have been roughly around about a 2-hour average. But you're coming out of there having watched a game that was a, 10-8 final.
Matthew Jolis is the president and CEO of Gotham Sports and Entertainment. They are bringing indoor soccer to Newark, New Jersey in December with Independence FC. They're going to play at the St. Barnabas Hockey House, which is right next door to the Rockets, the Devils practice facility. It's attached to Prudential Center right there. And, there's been other professional sports that have played there. I think the women's professional hockey team, I think the team now known as the Sirens, played there for, a short time a few years ago. What is it about that facility? What makes that the ideal place to bring the team to?
So for us, it was wanting to find a place that put us in the center of a downtown marketplace that was a sports venue that everyone knows they can easily get to. Everybody knows Prudential Center. They can get there. But it was also a growth opportunity for us. We're going to have 1,000 seats. It's not going to burn our pockets in season 1 or season 2. We're going to organically grow this. A lot of great partnership and work with the Prudential Center and the New Jersey Devils is a part of this. And, then we're going to, as we build and grow this, then when it makes sense for us to move into the main Prudential Center arena, then we'll have those discussions with the Devils and all those teams there and HBSE and, make that move into the Prudential Center when it's right. So that the idea behind this is sustainability. It's not come in, make a splash, and then, oops, oh, sorry, we're out of money. It's where are we 10 years from now, 15 years from now, 20 years from now, so that our name becomes synonymous with the names of Baltimore Blast, St. Louis Ambush, Kansas City Comets, Milwaukee Wave, San Diego Soccer, Tacoma Stars, who still exist today in the MASL and who are going to be those teams that we're going to rival against as we go through this process.
How stable is this league? As I've seen clips on YouTube, we haven't had a team here in the area in this league in a long time. What's the league set up? How structured are they, and how stable is this league?
Well, I think a lot of people don't realize the MASL itself in a construct has been around the league construct, I believe, since 1992, and has developed itself out where there's now 3 divisions of the MASL, and then MASL 2 and MASL 3, and then a women's division as well, too, that's growing very heavily. And we're going to be the newest team, obviously, into that construct, but also into the women's division as well, too. So all of our home games are going to be double headers where you're going to get a men's game and a women's game. And if you haven't seen women's indoor soccer yet, it is just as insane.
The women's outdoor game has grown, and Gotham FC right here in the area, defending champion. In fact, they're going to play a game at Citi Field this coming season. What is the makeup of the teams in this league in terms of the roster? Do they try to localize the roster, or do you go for the best players available?
So that's really a team-by-team decision on to what you want to do. We're very fortunate being in North Jersey in such a soccer hotbed, both from the youth side, from the collegiate side. We have a lot of players that are going to be right here in our back door. I've already spoken with a number of players that have played at St. Peter's, that have played at Columbia, that have played at Fordham, that have played at Rutgers, at St. John's, that we're going to be able to pull from to be able to make this roster. But then you also have players who played at other big schools that have come into the New York marketplace for their professional lives and their professional careers, and we're going to be able to pull them in. If anybody thinks that salaries in Major Arena Soccer League or you can live off of this, that's not realistic. Everybody has a 9-to-5 job and does this on the weekends kind of thing.
So if this works out, Matthew, and it's successful, and your group has a couple extra bucks, lying around, you want to bring an indoor soccer team here to Long Island. Northwell Health Ice Center's got the Islanders practice there. There's a couple thousand seats side of that, so you'd be more than happy to bring a team out here as well.
Yeah, I think as we start to develop our marketplace, I have a feeling that. From the conversations that I've had with Chris Economides, the commissioner of the league, and a few other people, there are some interest that it's going to be there. There is a team in Danbury, Connecticut already that plays at Danbury Ice Arena. That's going to be one of our biggest rivals. Harrisburg, PA has a team with the Harrisburg Heat, which is going to be a big arch rival. And I think as some of us who are in the soccer community start building and growing things in the region together, whether it be USL, USL2, USLW teams, et cetera, you're going to see a couple of other teams that might jump in and want to, peel off from their club and do the same kind of thing. And we'll see maybe if American Soccer Club or, anybody else up on Long Island wants to peel in and help this out too.
Well, since I work for American Soccer Club, I'll just have to talk to Kevin Reardon and Jim Kilmeade and see, as we get into our second outdoor season, perhaps, everything works out great. We'd love to have indoor soccer back here on Long Island.
Yeah, and I think, for us as a club structure, our goal is actually we are building this indoor team right now, and then we're going to try to parlay and carry that over into an outdoor team. We'd like to see Independence FC badges in USL2 or USLW next year.
Awesome. Well, Matthew Jolis is the president and CEO of Gotham Sports and Entertainment, bringing indoor soccer to Newark, New Jersey with Independence FC. It's coming this December at St. Barnabas Hockey House in Newark, New Jersey. Matthew, thank you for joining us here on the show. Best of luck, and hope to get out there and see a game.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Matthew Jolis from Gotham Sports and Entertainment. I had a blast, and I'm not play on words there. There was a team called the Baltimore Blast, but I used to have a blast going to Arrows games. It was so much fun, and they used to practice in a hangar behind the Coliseum at Mitchell Field. There were two hangars next to each other. One was an ice rink, and the other was the Arrows offices and practice field. And me and my buddy, the fraud sports fan Rob, who I go back and forth with on social media, the fraud, the guy who ditched the Jets for the Ravens. We used to go every Saturday morning because the Arrows would play Friday night and Sunday afternoons when they were home for a weekend, but they would always practice on Saturday mornings. So even we weren't driving yet, we would take the bus and take it to Nassau Community College and go to watch the Arrows practice. And we would get there early, just try to get autographs and stuff like that. And there was one morning where we went there, and Renato Chila is the first Arrows player that hops on the field, and he sees the two of us, our two idiots, sitting in the stands, and he said, "Guys, come out here and play a little soccer." So me and Rob get out there on the field, and we're kicking the ball around with Renato Chila, and I'm playing goalie, and Rob's taking penalty shots at me, and then I get up and turn around, and Steve Jungle is standing there. He goes, sorry guys, it's time for us to practice. But we did that like every Saturday morning. We got to get out there early, and they'd let us go on the field and kick the ball around. It was awesome, and I'm so glad the sport is coming back. It would be great if it works out that they can bring a team here to Long Island as well. I think it would do really, really well. A lot of people will remember the New York Arrows. It's time for the Coach's Collectibles item of the week. Coach's Collectibles, your number one source for 100% authentic sports memorabilia and live public autograph events. Coach's Collectibles presents a new mystery box series. These are 10 Mystery Islanders 16 by 20 autograph photos. One of them is Matthew Schaefer. Not all of them, just one of them. We tried to clarify that the other day. So there's 10 boxes of Islanders 16 by 20 autograph photos. One of them is Matthew Schaefer. And by the way, a big thank you to Upper Deck. They sent over a box of Series 2 hockey cards for me and my family to rip open, and we did that yesterday. There were 12 packs in the box, and each of us got 3 packs to open up with the hopes that, and we pool everything together. It's not like, Jared picked out, he got this card in there. No, everything's still in the same box. And we were hoping to get a Matthew Schaefer rookie card. And unfortunately, we did not. We got some Islanders and some really good cards in the box, but no Matthew Schaefer. So we're going to have to go get some more packs of cards at Target or something like that, and hopefully we can get it, because right now that Matthew Schaefer Young Guns rookie card is going on eBay in the neighborhood of $300. Yeah, I'm not paying $300 for the card. There's some other Matthew Schaefer cards that are a lot less expensive that, if we go to a show, we can go get those. But we would love to get at least one of those Young Gun Matthew Schaefer cards and get that into the treasure box in the Schwartz household. The next Coach's Collectibles live event is Chaz Palminteri, Wednesday, March 25th at Fox Hollow Country Club in Woodbury. Photo ops at 6:30, autograph session from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Coach's Collectibles, your number one source for 100% authentic sports memorabilia and live public autograph events. Check them out online at www.coachescollectiblesny.com and use code SPORTSBASH for free shipping on all your orders. Time for What's Hot at Ticketbash.com, and the NCAA tournament is underway, and although there are no games here in the area, you can still get tickets for all the NCAA tournament games at ticketbash.com. Tonight, St. John's is, actually that's tomorrow, I believe. St. John's, it's Friday. It's Friday. St. John's playing Northern Iowa in San Diego. Hofstra is playing Alabama in Tampa. I don't know why I wrote tonight. And LIU is playing Arizona in San Diego. Sunday, the Knicks host the Wizards. The Islanders host the Blue Jackets. And NYCFC will host Lionel Messi and Inter Miami at Yankee Stadium. And I bet you that is going to be a very, very tough ticket in the Bronx on Sunday. NBA, also the Knicks visit the Nets at Barclays Center on Friday night. Get the best seats at the best prices with no service fees at ticketbash.com. Next week on Sports Bash, first of all, on Tuesday, I'll be joined by Indoor Football League Chief Operating Officer Eric Van Beek. The IFL season is underway, and I'm very excited again to be part of the broadcast team. My first game is going to be on April 5th in Orlando against Quad Cities. Quad Cities at Orlando, April 5th. That game will be streaming on Overnight, which is a brand new partner for the IFL. So I'm looking forward to talking to Eric about the new TV coverage that's coming for the league this season. We were supposed to have Kevin Gilbride on the show next Thursday. I did get a text from him that there is a scheduling issue, so we're going to have to reschedule that interview, but we will be joined at some point either next week or the week after by former Giants assistant coach Kevin Gilbride. Was a player and coach at Southern Connecticut State University and the head coach of the New York Guardians of the XFL in 2020. He's going to be honored by Southern Connecticut State at an event on June the 4th. Thursday, April 2nd, we're going to have our next FOP, Friend of Peter, and we'll be joined for the whole hour by NHL.com managing editor Brian Compton. Brian was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in June of 2024. Walk MS 2026 is taking place on May 16th at Jones Beach at 10 a.m. Join Team B Comp by scanning the QR code on your screen. And that brings us to a close of a very, very busy and fun-filled episode of Sports Bash, presented by Ticketbash.com and the Ryan Anthony Head Start Fund. Thanks to Mookie Wilson, Alex Cohen, Jason Exterowitz for joining me yesterday at the What's New at Citi Field event. Thanks to Matthew Jolas for joining us as well on the show, talk indoor soccer. Thanks to our social media coordinator, Leanne Burgess, and thanks to Tony Walker and everyone here at Governor's Comedy Club in Levittown. Sports Bash is sponsored by the Embassy Diner in Bethpage, by Coach's Collectibles, and by the Marty Lyons Foundation. For our entire crew, I'm Peter Schwartz, saying thank you for watching. Sports Bash back on Tuesday, 1 p.m. Have a great weekend, everyone. And as for this episode of Sports Bash, you could see you Tuesday.